Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Houston Sports Talk back in that video today, and today the Houston Astros beat the Los Angeles Angels 3-2 in extra innings. The Astros took that first extra innings loss, the first extra innings loss of the season last night. It was a tough loss. Nick Kurtz walk-off home run. Yeah, definitely was a tough ending last night. Took the first extra innings loss. They were 4-0. And so now they get back on track. Funny thing is the Astros extra innings record this year is the same record as Josh Hader. Josh Hader went into the game last night was 4-0. The Astros went into the game last night were 4-0 in extra innings. Josh Hader took the loss last night because of the home run he gave up to Nick Kurtz, and he went to 4-1. This team went 4-1 in extra innings. Now the Astros, obviously we're in extra innings again today. Josh Hader gets the call in the ninth. He gets the win, even though he wasn't pitching in the 10th. Bennett Sousa pitched in the 10th, but the Astros did take the lead in the top of the 10th. So Josh Hader gets the win. He's 5-1, and now the Astros are 5-1 in 5-1 in extra innings. This wasn't a pretty game by the Astros. I think the pitching by Hunter Brown was, outside of his outing against Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay, I think it was one of the ugliest we've seen, one of the ugliest outings we've seen from Hunter Brown, even though he only gave up one earned run. But the offense, even though they did really good putting up 9 hits, only scored 3 runs today, and one of those runs came off of a wild pitch. So the offense wasn't great with bringing in runs today, but they still were able to fight it out and get a win. That's great. 44-32 now, 7-19 on the road. 3-2 is the final score. 9 hits for the Astros, 6 for the Angels, 0 errors in the ballgame. One goes to Josh Hader, as I already mentioned. He's 5-1 on the year now. He pitches the 9th, gets a strikeout, no damage done after yesterday's tough loss. Loss goes to Strickland. He's 1-1 on the year now. 1 hit given up. That was a JP. Got a strikeout. Pitches the 10th inning, but gets the loss. Save goes to Bennett Sousa, his 2nd of the year. He got a strikeout in the 10th. No other damage given up. Usually in a game that you see Josh Hader, pitching a game and the Astros win, it's a save, not a win for him and a save for someone else. But that was the case today with Sousa. All right, scoring summary. It was a great start for this Astros team today. Something they've definitely done for the first time all year. This was the third time Jeremy Pena's done it this year, but home runs in the first 2 at bats. It was Jeremy Pena's leadoff home run of the season. He had one against the Tigers and he had one against the Rays, and now he's one against. Oh wait, no. Sorry, my bad. Or no, am I wrong? No, yeah, it was a leadoff home run. So leadoff home run for Pena. Then Isaac Paredes follows it with a home run. That's the first time that's happened. That might be the only time it happens this year. I hope not, though. The Astros have been a poor team with scoring runs in the first inning, but recently they've been a lot better with it, and that's a great sign. But it's 2-0. It's 2-0 after that, and for the first 4 scores of this ballgame, it was all home runs. Because then you see the Angels they match it right back with Joe Adell home run in the 4th inning, 2-1, and then Moore home run to center, 411 feet. It's 2-2. His first home run of his career, and it's 2-2. But then Dubon scores on the Strickland wild pitch. Pena gets a second on the wild pitch by Strickland, and it's 3-2. Jeremy Pena was absolutely outstanding today, 3 for 4, batting 328 on the year now. First inning home run to center, 402 feet. Then a 3rd inning ground out to 3rd, 5th inning single to left, Hummel to 2nd, 8th inning walk, 10th inning big single because this got Dubon to 3rd, which helped him get home. That was a big single to lead off the 10th for Pena. And Isaac hit his home run in the 1st inning. He had a single to left in the 3rd inning. And Jose Altuve had a really bad day. Got intentionally walked in the 10th inning, even though he struck out his first 4 bats. For Altuve, this game reminded me for him a lot like that terrible game we saw from earlier in the year in Minnesota, where he struck out a bunch. This game for Jose Altuve reminded me of that game against Minnesota earlier in the year. Not when the Astros just played Minnesota at home. I'm talking about the game where the Astros played Minnesota on the road, and that was actually funny enough. Both games, this game where Altuve struck out a bunch, and that game where Altuve struck out a bunch, were both Hunter Brown starts. Yander Diaz was 0 for 5 today. Talk about striking out a lot, 3 times for Yander Diaz. Not as bad as Altuve, but yeah, that was not a good day for Yander Diaz. 0 for 5. He smoked one on a line out to second in the 8th inning. Another player had a really hard hit ball that I'll go over in just a second was Christian Walker today. Cam Smith was 1 for 4 after going hitless yesterday. We saw the 7 hits in 2 games. He's been a little rusty in the last 2 games, but that's okay. Single to left in the 9th inning. That was it for Cam Smith. Christian Walker, I mean, his ground out to third. Honestly, I think the noise that this ball made off the bat was beautiful. On this ground out to third for Christian Walker. I mean, it sounded, if anybody play MLB The Show, it sounded like a perfect in MLB The Show. It was the noise that this bat made off of this ground out. It was a rocket ground ball. Unfortunately, it was a great play by the third baseman Luis Rengifo, and Walker was retired, and he finished 0 for 4 today. Struck out swinging, fouled out to first, flied out to right. I'll give Walker credit for that first at bat. He really put some heavy contact on the ball in the second inning, and should have easily been a base hit for Christian Walker in that first at-bat. That was all Luis Rengifo in that first at-bat. But the rest of the day, Christian Walker deserves the blame. I'm sorry. All right. Jake Myers has been red hot recently. He continues it. Another multi-hit game for Jake. Single to left in the second inning, ground out to shortstop, fly out to center, ninth inning single to center, Smith to third. Then Cooper Humel's 1 for 3 today. He singled to left in the 5th inning. His second hit as an Astro, that was it for him. Luis Guillorme replaced him, didn't have any at-bats in the game, came in and played second base. Victor Caratini was a pinch hitter late in the game in the 9th inning. He fouled out the third. He had the day off. Shea Whitcomb also came in the game defensively, but didn't have any at-bats. Mauricio Dubon was 0 for 4 today, and scored 1 run, and that was it for Dubon. Hunter Brown went 5 innings. He only gave up 2 hits and 1 earned run. But this was still a really bad day for Hunter Brown. 87 pitches and only 48 in the strike zone. Look, it wasn't a bad game at all for Hunter where he's not giving up hits or runs. Only 1 earned run, 2 hits in 5 innings. That's not bad. But Hunter had a real problem not getting in the strike zone today. Only 48 strikes and 87 pitches. That was the real problem for Hunter Brown today. Sean Dubin came in and replaced him in the 6th inning. I don't know why I didn't bring Hunter out back in the 6th inning. I mean, he had enough pitches to pitch in the 6th inning. I think the big reason why is because Hunter Brown wasn't reaching the strike zone. And Sean Dubin comes in. He struggled. He pitches the first out. He gets the first out, but gives up a hit and a walk, gets a strikeout. Brian King comes in, gets the Astros out of bases loaded jam. Absolutely amazing. Then pitches the 7th for the Astros, and he was fantastic. 1 hit given up, 3 strikeouts. He does give up an earned run. King does give up an earned run, but 3 strikeouts. But where he was amazing was with the bases loaded. I'm sure he did give up the 1 earned run off of the home run to Moore in the 7th. But let's talk about what he did in the 6th with the bases loaded, getting the Astros out of that jam. I'm fine with him giving up that home run in the 6th inning because it was only a solo shot. When look at what he did in the 6th inning to get the Astros out of bases loaded. Imagine if the Astros could have given up a lot of runs there, and then we're talking about a loss here for the Astros. But King got up pretty high in his pitches today, 27 pitches. Another guy that had to get up really high in the pitches, Brian Abreu gave up 2 hits. No other damage outside of that. He did a great job getting out of his troubles. 2 strikeouts, 30-pitch inning for Abreu. That's the really negative thing for this Astros team today is King and Abreu's pitches make it hard to see them again in this series. And then you look at Josh Hader's pitch the last 2 games. The good thing with Josh today, he's only pitched 9 pitches. But, Abreu, 30 pitches. King, 27. Hader had 9 today, pitched the 9th, as I mentioned. I talked about Suso as well. So, great win for the Astros. See if they can get the series win tomorrow with Brandon Walter on the mound, who's done very well so far as an Astro. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out. Go Stros.